Hey guys, what's up? My name is Anthony, and welcome to another edition of BNA Sports Talk. But before we get into it, I wanted to discuss a little bit about the Giants and the latest rumors and stuff, just for like about a minute. So I really do think that we played our hand and we're drafting Jedrick Wills. I think it's confirmed right now, because take a look at it. Which players are we bringing in on defense? We're bringing a bunch of linebackers. Logan Wilson just rumored today. We have interest in Zach Bond. There's a guy, Penn State, Yorgos Matos. You know, a bunch of guys that are connected to the Giants that we're thinking of. One was the time, when did we bring Lucas Niang in? We didn't. We brought in the top 4 offensive tackle prospects, and I think we're really eyeing them. And no team can have any say about it. Unlike last year where we want to hold our cards a little bit, and, you know, maybe a team jumps us. You know, we don't really care this year because we're going to select the best offensive tackle available. Nobody's jumping a 3 for an offensive tackle. You know, you obviously don't want to play your cards 100% because you can still trade back. You know, you don't know what's going to happen there. Let's say the Cardinals offer you a package, like you can trade back. You know, it's a little bit strategy that way, but we're selecting the tackle. And I just wanted to let you guys know. And I think Jedrick Wills is the option because of familiarity. We brought in so many options with familiarity as far as coaching. We brought in a running backs coach from Alabama. Joe Judge has connections to Nick Saban. He's going to be talking to Nick Saban a lot, like, should we take him, should we take him? And I don't mind it. I like Andrew Thomas better, but I'm not crying when we select Jedrick Wills, and I'm just warning you Giants fans that we're selecting Jedrick Wills. But let's get into the topic of the video, because I think Alvin Kamara is a trade candidate. Now, I've said this with a bunch of times, like, you know, Ryan Tannehill should go to the Cowboys, and a bunch of people are like, yeah, that's bullshit. Like, at this point, you know, he's just a guy talking about, like, some theory. But I think that this could happen, and it should happen, because right now, Alvin Kamara is a $2.5 million cap hit. He was selected in the second round of the 2017 draft, and they're going to have to pay him soon. And we all know what happens when you pay running backs. There's that stigma. And the Saints are not a team to pay running backs a lot. They got rid of Mark Ingram, well, last year, actually, and he wanted to be successful in Baltimore, whatever. They have Latavius Murray on this roster. Underperformed expectations, and they didn't really perform well. I don't know the whole thing about the Saints this year as far as their running backs, but I think that Alvin Kamara has some decent fits. So the first one that I want to mention is the Buffalo Bills. Again, if they trade him, he's only like a $200,000 cut this year, and it frees up cap space for the future. And so let's go with this trade to the Bills. The Bills don't have a lot of draft capital because they just traded their first for Stephon Diggs, so I don't think it's going to happen. But I think it's a pretty good fit. You have Josh Allen that could have a little bit of a dump off. You know, Josh Allen usually stays in the pocket a little bit too long, tries to run a little bit. A guy like that could help. They drafted a running back last year, not Montgomery, I forgot his name, but they have a Singletary. They have a guy that you think is their future, but, you know, you don't have LaShawn McCoy anymore. And, so I think Alvin Kamara could be a good fit, but again, they don't have a lot of draft assets. It's up north, it's cold. The second one I mentioned is in a cold area too. It's Pittsburgh. But, you know, Ben Roethlisberger, how many years is he going to be around? You just bring in a free agent quarterback. Bring in a Cam Newton, bring in a Jameis Winston. I know that they're not saying that, but I think that's what they should do. You know, Ben Roethlisberger gets hurt, Jameis Winston, you're up, and they'll have Alvin Kamara. James Conner does not translate to wins. When he's on the Steelers roster, they went 9-7 last year, and I know they didn't have good quarterback play this year. They went 8-8, but he doesn't really translate to wins. Le'Veon Bell did. I think they had a higher ceiling with Le'Veon Bell. I see that in Alvin Kamara. I know his trade value is not that high right now because he has been getting injured over the past couple years. Not sure how long term this has been a problem because I haven't followed him his entire career back from Tennessee. But he had a high ankle sprain last year. Is he durable? I think he could be a bell cow back, a pretty decent enough route runner, decent enough speed, but he has that power that you need up north, MC North. I think that can help the Pittsburgh Steelers. I was also thinking about the LA Chargers, but they already paid Austin Eckler, and he's a really good route runner that can go deep. I saw some highlights. The dude's pretty good. He's good enough for them. So I would have said the LA Chargers. I was also thinking about some other side teams. I don't really see much, but Miami I think would be a great option. One, it's in the South. Two, they have a lot of draft assets, something that the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Buffalo Bills didn't have. So you can bring in your quarterback, Jordan Love, Justin Herbert, whoever you want to bring in, and then have a guy that you can toss it to. And then with your other first-round pick, draft an offensive lineman. And all of a sudden you have a great offense. And, so I think all it's going to cost is like an 18th overall pick. Then if you're the Saints, you're telling me you have the 18th and 24th. A guy that I really like, and the reason why I'm doing this trade is because of Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I think the guy's great. Obviously, he ran a 4.6, so he's not going to beat you down the field, but that's good enough. Between a 4.6 and a 4.4, which most running backs run, that's 0.2 seconds. You're telling me in 40-yard, down the field, an 80-yard dash, 0.4 seconds is going to make much of a difference? The dude knows how to find holes. He knows how to expose them. I know LSU, but he can read the linebackers really well, knows what holes to pop through. And with the Saints, they have a great offensive line. They just got Eric McCoy. They have their left tackle is really good. And I think that, over the years, replenish the offensive line, keep doing that. It's great. But yeah, the Saints have an amazing offensive line that you could just do so much with. Find a little hole, burst for that first down. Amazing burst speed. I love this guy. 5'8", 5'7", whatever. He torched my Gators. It was just unfair. You just find a hole. It's just like, how did you find that hole? It's like, and every single play is just 12 yards against a Florida Gators defense that was like top 5 in the nation. So this dude is elite. He's good. I think he's the best running back in the draft. I put a bet that he would be the first running back drafted. 20-1 odds though. Those are pretty good odds. But Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And then if you're the Saints, pick 24, still get a Patrick Queen. I know you're turning a little bit into LSU or whatever. Or maybe even get a CJ Henderson at 18 if he falls down that far. So you have a lot more options if you're the Saints. Bring in some talent with this team. You have some guys that are going to be looking for a contract really soon, that I think Mario Williams, whatever, and your cornerbacks are pretty depleted right now. You no longer have Eli Apple. You still have Patrick Robinson there, but your cornerbacks aren't great either. Get a draft asset and don't have to pay that guy for years. And maybe when you bring in Taysom Hill, he has a guy that's going to be able to get first downs for him. And then I was looking at the NFC. Tampa would be a good option, but they're not going to trade him to Tampa. In division, I think he could help out Brady a lot because they are looking for a running back. You do a swap with O.J. Howard, so you don't even have to give up your first-round pick. The O.J. Howard could help the Saints or not. And also another one I was looking at was the Detroit Lions. Now, the Detroit Lions hold the 3rd pick. What if you do a pick swap from 24 to 3, and at 3 you draft Jeff Okudah? And then later in the rounds, you're going to still be probably able to get a decent enough running back in the 2nd round. And if you're the Detroit Lions, you get a running back to help out Matt Stafford. And then at 24, you still get a decent linebacker. I think a Kenneth Murray. Oh, they don't really need a lot of inside linebacker help. Well, they probably do. I know they brought in Kennard and Jamie Collins and stuff. You probably need a little bit of inside linebacker help. You probably still need a cornerback, though. You can get one of those second-tier cornerbacks, a Christian Fulton, A.J. Terrell. That's going to fall to you there. Or you can go offensive line, because I know a lot of people say they need a tackle at this point. You need an interior lineman as well. So they need some help on the offensive line to help elongate Matt Stafford's career. And then they have obviously the pick in this 2nd round. But yeah, I think that could make sense for the Lions in conference, but not that bad. Other than that, there are not a lot of teams with a lot of draft assets that they'll be looking for. You take a look at Green Bay. They already have a running back. Chicago, they already have what they think is a running back, but they don't have a lot of cap space. The San Francisco 49ers and the Chiefs don't really have the mentality of paying a running back a lot of money. Plus, they have a little bit of cap problem. So there's not an amazing amount, but there's a decent enough market where I think that the Saints can expose and bring in some good talent, bring in some good talents in the draft. And teams, again, probably my favorite, it's Miami. You get 2 first-round picks, and all of a sudden you're just set. And look at Miami. You bring in a quarter. I just think it's a good option for the Saints to at least think about. And yeah, I definitely would try to have a trade in place. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all the teams that I have. If I missed a team, definitely do let me know. If you're like Anthony, the Colts, obviously, what are you thinking? But then again, they don't have a lot of draft assets, and they think that some of their backups plus their starter obviously could do a good job with them. But again, hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.